All right. Welcome to the program. My name is Dr. Mankota. Today, Monday, as we all know, this past Sunday, yesterday, in fact, I've been telling us say, I get for broadcast today, and for make sure say I cover waiting they go on with this tripartite reports, and that's why we are here. And I just want for make una self we the watch for make una be part of this conversation because it's very important. We don't wait for 6 months. This 6 months, we don't wait for this day today. Well, the day don't come, and we just need for make sure say we discuss with him. We get on this tripartite. Well, the tripartite don't come out. I get the document, and I've been done pull out some audios on this tripartite, and I want for make we all discuss them. Let me see. So we can discuss this tripartite because already we don't begin to see some twisting of this report once again, which is not good at all. It's not good. This issue done today. Okay. This particular issue it done today. Okay, I think I can only let me see if I go able for open the tripartite. This issue done today. What we get for do now? We get for move on. The APC party need for move on now, and I get confidence in the leadership at this particular time. Then get for move on. What I want for let we discuss about the tripartite. There are 80 recommendations about the tripartite. Their recommendations here. Okay, I hope I was able to open it, so that's wonderful. Let's see how I will expand them. So there are 80 recommendations on the tripartite. Their recommendations then, well, first of all, let me step back and try for giving a foundation of this particular issue right now. Wonderful. I'm able for put at the screen. Okay. For some of you, we been the wait for a very long time. Today is the day where anything where somebody tell you now, not take as serious again. If that person they still the try for manipulate you, tell and say, "Brah, I don't see the report. The report don't come. We know what happen. We know what the report say." And this particular program will give you that education, that information for say it is done. We need for move on. For me, comrade APC members, and we don't take the entire 6 months for argue say this tripartite is going to yield benefits for the APC. When I say benefits, I mean a rerun or a handing over of power to we former candidates. It's not the case. It's not the case. Now, let me bring in the tripartite. Okay. Maybe I can. Let me try this. Okay. This now the tripartite. Okay. Let me just make sure I bring come. Okay. This is not the tripartite. The tripartite gets two categories. This document where they see so it gets two categories. And this is where a lot of people then they come back and they can't still continue for mislead you now. That's why you have to be patient with me and listen to me very carefully. This tripartite gets two categories. The way they make this, then create this report, they get two categories. The first category, now the things them, the issues them, where the APC and the SLPP agree for say again for the recommendation. That's not category 1. Now in let me go to that category for let una see. These are the list of all the other terminology and so more, so forth, so on. But let me come. These are all the term of reference where them been done put together, cross-party committees and all them here. But not so that one, a lot of people then they pay attention right now because we already don't read this thing a long time ago. So now just a kind of reiteration on what happened. But I want to go all the way to the main important thing. Here then tell you now the scope of the term of reference. And this is now the membership of the committee, the method we then use for collect the data, the information, because I have to be very careful. Okay. And these are all the method. You get the delivery committee framework, the rules of proceedings, the committee communication framework. So then put everything together. I think then do a very good job for put all them here together. And here then talk about the findings them. I think then why I'm more okay. Yeah. Okay. There are 80 recommendations where then put, but this now about the Public Election Act. What did them find now in the issue? Then say the review the Public Election Act 2022 to include provisions for the publication of ECSL decisions and regulations and all other election-related documents on its website and social media platform. And they just they try for give the main important thing we will need from you. Not to every writing I will need from you. So now let we look at the recommendation for that particular thing. I don't tell you now. Recommendation number 1. What did they recommend? Let me go back. Let you now understand. These are the findings we then do. Now, the committee, like I said earlier, then puts this document into 2 categories. The category where the 2 groups, that is the APC and the SLPP government, where they agree on, that's not the recommendation where they get for present to Dr. Bio, President Bio, where President Bio get for look and forward then the recommendation in Parliament. Okay. And Parliament go implement well the recommendations. This document explain so much things that it would take like 3-4 programs for make able to give everything within this document they talk about. So everything what they tell them are just kind of summary. Now, their recommendation and most of the recommendation then get for go sit down. Then create another committee or committees for create bills like legislations based on their recommendation. Yeah, then the legislations and then they get for send a parliament. Then parliament get for pass for make it become law. So now, in my own opinion, what I see now, it looks like this is just the starting of the process itself. Okay, then get for create bills. Then for example, there are certain recommendations where then get for modify the 1991 Constitution in order for making a recommendation and they be able for implement them. So this now the one of the review where then look into the findings now in this the Public Election Act of 2022. So then give we all within then see and that Public Election Act. For example, there is nothing like a publication of results like polling station based on polling station to a public domain. So what did they recommend on this? This recommend, they focus on the recommendation more. Then say the Electoral Commission must consult on a consultation policy, must promulgate and publish this policy within 3 months of the submission of this report. You understand what I is talking about, right? The Election Act gets certain things the way they want for make the Electoral Commission for make them go make policies, and then policies here, then get for consult actually other stakeholders them. But then the need for create them policies and send them within 3 months of this when they submit this report today. Until they don't submit the report today, so the clock don't begin ticking for the Electoral Commission for go create policies about the what's the need for change now the Public Election Act of 2022. Then the policy should provide for designation of Electoral Commission stakeholders who form a standing consultation list. The consultation policy must fit with making process. Now, because the Electoral Commission must report on a with the consultation policy in its section 3212 reports to the President and Parliament. These are the first recommendations. This is about the legal framework of election in Sierra Leone gives a great deal of latitude to the Electoral Commission to establish the detailed rules of the electoral process. The Commission has broad powers to make regulations in this regard and to provide guidance to their permanent and temporary staff. So then say the Commission get too much of power for making them able to do, making policies for themselves, and then wants some changes into that. And waiting at the recommendation, that's recommendation number 2. When I read with me together, it says the Electoral Commission to make a policy on exercise of regulation making powers within 6 months. The Electoral Commission to consult Electoral Commission stakeholders on draft policy before making and ensure that the regulation making I think what's going on? Okay, my internet don't come back. I don't know what's in the gun. Too many stuff. All right. It say the Electoral Commission to make a policy on exercise of regulation making powers within 6 months. The Electoral Commission to consult Electoral Commission stakeholders on the draft policy before making and ensure that the regulation making policy fits with the consultation policy recommended above. The Electoral Commission to publish any regulation made on a website within 48 hours in the Gazette and make available a hard copy for inspection at every Electoral Commission office. All right. The Electoral Commission to report on making in section 3212 reports to the President and Parliament. All Electoral Commission manuals and guidance to be the subject of a formal electoral decision or regulation. Now, then talk about transparency. The other problem we didn't get about small part of it. You can say transparency has been a guiding principle in the last 2 strategic plan, 2015 to 2019 and 2020 to 2024 of the Electoral Commission. Despite this, during the period under review, there has been a perceived decrease in openness in openness and information sharing by Electoral Commission. And this has been noted by the various observer groups and other stakeholders. So now, what's not the recommendation here? Okay, it's opaque. We all know that, say, they're not too transparent at all. Now, no information available on delegations of authority within the commission or from commission to staff. Commission considers some internal manuals to be classified with no legislative basis for such a decision made available. There is currently no legal obligation to publish ECSL decision, regulations, and procedures in a timely manner. This right now is the problem. So what's in the recommendation where they put for that? They say the Electoral Commission to cease the use of classified documents. A new information or document management policy should be developed that starts from the principle that all commission documents should be public unless to protect information, privacy, and commercially sensitive information. Now, all right. Now, this now the we can talk about the money where the Electoral Commission they spend. Okay, the money where the Electoral Commission they spend. And say the Electoral Commission they spend a lot of money during the election, and they need for do some kind of changes. But what's in the recommendation here? Recommendation number 4. Then say Electoral Commission should ensure that it complies with the provision of the Audit Service Act. The Electoral Commission should also make available its annual audit account to registered political parties. So what they need here, then therefore make sure say then comply with the audit, and also this annual audit they need for making available to political parties them. Now, I don't want to go to Electoral Commission internal organization. These are all some of the things they are. Just to go to the recommendations. The Electoral Commission Secretariat must be responsible for the electoral operation. Electoral commissioners should only be engaged in the development of regulatory policies and refrain from interfering in the work of the Secretariat staff. So, the commissioner and the Secretariat staff must be a little bit independent, must have some kind of independence. Okay. Now, when they go to, well, I know I'm going to the findings, and let me just pass this recommendation because some of them are not even one. Most of them here where they pass, so now mostly about the about regulations of the Electoral Commission. So hopefully we are not so much see that something like then they give enough information to voters them and make sure say then provide certain amenities to people, the voters them. These are all the recommendations for that. And this is not the voters registration, how for make the voters registration more effective. But let me read the recommendation for that. That the Electoral Commission undertake the following voters registration process under current legal provision. Number 1, Electoral Commission to receive a voting age population database from NCRA. I think say this now the National Citizens Registration, whatever database then they talk about, like the ID card, the national ID card. Okay, for the purpose of updating a voter registration. This is a wonderful recommendation. I like this recommendation because it help the ECSL because of the backlog. You say pass the time gauge for register before then they come and try for update some of the things then people then get for. It's very, very cumbersome. So if they're able for get that data there from the national ID card database, a very for making them able for updates their own database for make sure say accuracy there. Then the second recommendation on this is Electoral Commission to conduct a national voters registration fieldwork exercise following receipt of the data from NCRA. This will also allow voters to verify their names on the provision list of voters. Number 3, Electoral Commission to conduct a deduplication process in Sierra Leone in a transparent manner following their fieldwork process. Okay, so that's a very wonderful recommendation. This now recommendation number 15 about the Electoral Commission with the registration. It says the government should consider further subsidies the acquisition of national ID cards so that the Electoral Commission does not need resources to issue separate voter identification document. All right. In America here, yes, we get voters ID, but I know one day use me voters ID for go even vote. You know, what then they ask you now your ID, your national ID. So waiting this recommendation they try for telling, make the government able for make sure say everybody gets ID, the one that we in at the age of 18 and above, so that then we're able to get ID. And now that ID then people then get for use now for go vote instead of the every election year the ECSL get for spend millions of dollars just for prepare voters ID. It's not necessary at all. So that's not a very good recommendation. Okay. Now, recommendation 16 say Electoral Commission review the process, the proposed locations of registration centers, every circle taking into account both distance from the population and the number of expected voters with full engagement of stakeholders in the review process. And this about nomination of candidates. Now, let me just read the nomination process quickly because it's short. Okay. It says in 2023, the parliament was elected using a district block proportional representation system that requires the submission of political parties' candidate list rather than individual candidacies. In moving to this system, which provides for the filling of casual vacancies by referencing to submitted candidate list rather than a by-election, the commission also required that nomination fee be collected for all candidates on the list, not only for the number of seats to be elected. This practice should be discontinued while the PR system is in use. Now, what's not the recommendation? Candidates' nomination fee to only be collected to a maximum of the number of seats to be elected, regardless of the number of candidates submitted on the list. The reason what to make then give these recommendations, for example, each constituency gets about 5 different nominees. Now the list, I'm talking about the proportional representation. 5, not so. So each constituency. So if you say you take 5 nomination fees for 1 seat, then that's not something where it's too much for the party. And this is only applicable to the PR system, not to the constituency election, now the PR system. Now that make this recommendation there. Now, there's another findings, okay, still the nomination, but now we look at this continuous nomination. The entire nomination process was implemented with challenges. Political parties could not fully comply with the nomination process requirement due to the complexity of the nomination software. Late and inadequate training of political parties on the use of the nomination application. The information about nomination fee for substitute candidates was not communicated to the political parties in a timely manner. So waiting at the recommendation, this now the issues. Then findings are the issues. This is how you see findings. That means the issues we actually did at hand. And the recommendation, how they go fix the issues then they. So waiting the time for talking now. It's saying the recommendations, 18. Electoral Commission to continue to offer a nomination software solution under the following condition. Number one, Commission to hold consultation with political parties on the development of any planned nomination software 8 months before the start of a candidate's nomination process, and to include plans for stress and access tests in their design process. Number two, the Commission to ensure the nomination software is designed and finalized 6 months before the start of a candidate's nomination process. Training for registered political parties to start immediately on finalization of the software and to continue until 2 months to the start of the nomination period. And number three says, no modification to the nomination system should be allowed 2 months before the start of nomination process. Any updates identified as essential to system operation should be advised to the PPLC to enable discussion of any waiver to this timeline. All right? Then talk about the role of the party agent and waiting at the recommendation where them put. They say Electoral Commission to process accreditation of party agents at least 2 weeks before the event. Electoral Commission procedures and manuals to be fully provided to all registered political parties in hard and soft format, and the expected date of release to be included in electoral cycle calendar. And the Electoral Commission to produce additional customizable material for political parties use, for example, PowerPoint, etc., in the delivery of their training. All right. This now the public institution like Parliament, the role of Parliament. I know they go through this all. The PPRC, the problems we then get. I know they go through that because I not think say una want for no more about them. The Civil Registration Authority, the National Civil Registration Authority, the one we I talked about earlier. Let me read the recommendation here. All right. The NCRA to be resourced to provide an inclusive and comprehensive civil register. The NCRA to extend the data collection process to include all data field relevant for the electoral process. NCRA operation should be further decentralized beyond the district level operation. Yeah, I think it's a very good idea. So electoral security. When I remember quite recently, instead of a rerun, which some people they say electoral justice. Well, this is not just part of the electoral justice. If the electoral system is secure, then justice they come. So let me I think let me go to the findings, because it's not the most important thing. It say consensus around lack of neutrality of the police during all previous elections. Consensus around the lack of neutrality, professionalism, and accountability of the security sector during all elections. Across elections, security forces have infringed on the freedom of movement, freedom of association, activities of opposition parties. Self-styled security units are charged to the political parties, and civil defense forces cause additional security threats to the people. So waiting at the recommendation. Then we go to the recommendation. These are the recommendations for that. Recommendation 23. The ISPC to draft a declaration outlining the security agencies involved in election security, defining their roles and responsibilities, the working process and use of force, and outlining the security code of conduct for security personnel assigned to electoral activities and facility. And there should be an accompanying memorandum of understanding between the Sierra Leone Police and the Electoral Commission that incorporate the declaration and should specify the Sierra Leone Police as the primary electoral security actors, as recommended to be prescribed in the Public Election Act. All right. Now, there further further recommendation here. That is about the IESPC. They say IESPC to enhance transparency and the right to information by drafting and submitting a post-election security assessment report to the EMB, the Electoral Board, and political parties, which include a lesson learned section. And the threat assessments are not able to go that all. Now, let me go to the communication. Okay. What's in the issue here? Issues with institutions' external communication as regards content, channel, tones, and professionalism and timing of disclosure. So what's in the recommendation? They say feature electoral security communication strategy documents to enhance its purpose as a pan-security sector election communication strategy that set out a clear and consistent approach to messaging during each election phase. Okay. B, enhance accountability and public trust by including a dedicated transparency section that mandates timely and ongoing reporting on investigation relating to election violence and offenses, and recognize and build upon the effectiveness of existing communication method. Yeah. Now, this now the same thing about the security. Now, they say government to enhance the right to information and the right to security by recognizing the importance for the public to be informed when MACP is invoked. And they talk about external monitoring of electoral security provision. Now, let me just read this because this is also very important. They say, due to passive partisanship and limited policing resources, external monitoring mechanisms are essential for ensuring electoral security and peaceful election. These mechanisms can complement the effort and capacity of the Sierra Leone police through monitoring elections-related violence nationwide. What's in the recommendation here? Establishes a civilian-led multi-stakeholder structure incorporating non-security state and non-state actors to monitor and report election violence in a timely, factual, and objective manner. Number B, publish data periodically through online reporting, press releases, and other open source mapping in order to ensure transparency, foster public trust, and reinforce accountability. The Human Rights Commission, I will not go there. The police, I will not go there. All right, let me go to Independent Police Complaint Board. Okay. The PPRC to enforce Section 9 of the Political Party Code of Conduct in relations to rising militia to sponsor violence. These are the legal reforms. So what you make I just pass some of them here. A lot of people do not get interest over that, even though they're very, very important. But a lot of people they not get interest over that. Okay, I think I need to read this. This is very important. Let me see. All right, this is about the appointment of the commissioner. Okay. Let me first read that. Section 32 of the Constitution provides a set of baseline qualification for electoral commissioners. In Section 32, echoing those for other public offices, Section 32 does not set out merit-based criteria for appointment of ECSL commissioners. Section 32 of the Constitution only lists disqualification, the skills needed to compare an EMB, consequently span a range of fields, including management, integrity, professionalism, and technical competence. So what's in the recommendation here? They say amend Section 2.3 of the Public Election Act to require professional qualification and experience in governance and public management for electoral commissioners, in addition to the requirements of Section 32(4)(a) and B of the Constitution. And it is also recommended to amend Section 32(3) of the Constitution, Section 2 of the Public Election Act, and Section 34 of the Constitution to provide for a search and nominating committee for the appointment of all members of the Electoral Commission and the chair of the Political Party Regulation Commission that comprises 9 persons from all walks of life, with an overall number of women in line with the GEWE. I think it's about gender equality and women equality, whatever. So these are some of the people then way they feel say therefore benefit from that recommendation. Then now, all right. This another recommendation. While the allocation of commissioners to region is still required, the committee is concerned that this not give rise to perception of ethnic and political bias. Therefore, there should also be legal amendment to ensure that a commissioner is not appointed to region of origin. Okay, this is very important. Then one for make them appoint the commissioner not to Usa Ikomot. The commissioner go de Usai, or maybe they send an Usai, come out, originate. Okay. So now the recommendation that I am 37 include provisions to section 2, subsection 2B, Public Election Act, to stipulate that regional electoral commissioners are not to be appointed to their regions of origin, and B, that their duty station is to be in the region of their appointment. So the use of census data, the argument where the SLPP bring for bring the PR system. Now, in many countries, the use of official census data for electoral matters such as operational planning and boundary delimitation draws little notice and no controversy. In the electoral cycle under review, this has not been the experience in Sierra Leone. Constitutional amendments could provide more clarity on this use of census data for electoral process. What's in the recommendation? Recommendation 38. The Constitution to be amended so that the proviso to section 38(4) to be amended so that only the data from decennial census to be used. Decennial census to be used for electoral purpose. All right. Now, let me go to digital right. This is very important for who now within our social media, they cause trouble. All right. Let me read the digital right. After the 2023 elections, electoral observers noted that the relatively new Cybersecurity and Crime Act passed in 2021 was perhaps too heavy-handed. The 2021 Cybersecurity and Crime Act contained vague definition of various cybercrime and leaves room for enforcement agencies to exert pressure on critical voices and trigger self-censorship. This does not align with international and regional standards. The committee agreed that this act could be improved to guard against the arbitrary exercise of power and ensure alignment with international and regional instruments. So what is the recommendation? Consider aligning the definition in Section 2 of the 2021 Cyber Security and Crime Act with the regional and international instrument, in particular to review the definitions of cyber terrorism, cyber stockholding, cyber bullying, incendiary information, electoral observers. Okay, Now let's look at the electoral observers. Now let me just go to the recommendation anyway. There should be a consultative process of drafting relevant legislative provision to provide protection for election observers as human rights defenders. Amend Section 167 of the Public Election Act to make explicit the obligation that observers submit reports and to provide that those observers who do not submit reports will not be eligible for accreditation in the future. Uh, um, I don't need for go through this because oh, hold on, let me just give you a quick. This also got to do with it is in its own work, the committee has experienced difficulties in accessing information and documents generated by the Electoral Commission, including regulation, election results, and commission meetings documents over the electoral cycle under review. Electoral observers have also experienced the same frequently recommended or more structured and open information sharing process be instituted. So what them talking about? They say if we amend the Public Election Act to include requirement and time frame for the publication of Electoral Commission decision, regulations, and formal policies, Electoral Commission meetings, agendas, and minutes, a register of formal commission decision in the Gazette, on the ECSL website, and social media platforms. Okay. The law to require that these documents are permanently maintained for public access on their website. This now have been talk during me on throughout the months here saying they need for do for public for publish that results day on the website. All right, qualification for voting and candidacy. This is very important. I will read them. I did just try for take a look at the most important things then. All right, it says okay, this is now remember during the election, one of the things we Dr. Samura be recommend now for make the prisoners they're able for votes not to so. Well, let's read within this actually do. Electoral inclusion of incarcerated persons. Prisoners are currently disqualified from voting regardless of the nature of the offense and duration of the sentence, which is inconsistent with international standard, prohibiting unreasonable restriction on the right to vote. The blanket ban on prisoners' voting rights has been highlighted as needing review over several electoral cycles. The current ban is not in line with international human rights instruments to which Sierra Leone is a party. The committee therefore recommends that such a review be undertaken and that as a minimum, prisoners be enfranchised for presidential election. As candidates qualify start with the franchise, this will also need review. What's not the recommendation? This is about prisoners. They want for make with prisoners then begin the votes. All right. What's not the recommendation? Revise section 17C of the Public Election Act, which disqualify all persons who are serving a sentence of imprisonment from voting to make provision for prisoners to vote in presidential election. Uh, uh, I don't know whether they try for call me, but okay. I think I did. All right, I got a call. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Doctor.
How you doing, man?
Hello.
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Okay. I say how you do. One small.
Okay, this is Gallo.
Okay. Go ahead, Sam.
Everything, sir.
I manage. Go ahead.
I just listened to it. I just listened to your submissions presently.
Mm-hmm.
What you doing at TPM? TPM. You know, let's go and bring this country.
I mean,
but the issues of APC, there's some certain members that this party were. Every situation of this party. They really like for the situation of the APC. So we are trying our level best to just try for see and sensitize and tell the grassroots about this actual report. Because some of us again are seeing some of them politicians them. Way then they play with these things like everything is fine, which is not. So I just listened to his submission just to.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for the call because anybody we want for be part of this program, we're able for call because this is now kind of an interactive program. One of the things we are try for do right now is for make we go through their recommendation. Not all we get for it because now 80 recommendation because some of them are actually not necessary. He left with the parliament for make them take care of that. But the main important thing we I believe say the people they need for know now their recommendation and they go through and try for find out how good is this document. One of the things we I don't talk earlier Naya is there is not going to be a rerun. That's everybody now. Well, with the exception of the one that we still deleted. The delusional one, they still believe say there is going to be a rerun. I get for talk on that because earlier I talked about the two categories. This report gets two categories. The first category now they go through, so that is the recommendation with both the APC and the SLPP agree for say now their recommendation I then get for forward to the president and the president get for look then forward them to, then try for do some legislative bills them and forward down na parliaments for implementation. That's now one of the categories them and now in the on top. But there is another category where probably because I don't hear one audio where somebody I don't know then call APC Samura or something like that. I don't remember again, but I think that's the name. Where he come back say let people they know agree on waiting people then they talk. Samura the APC party don't recommend for say there is going to be a rerun. So people are still insisting the one the way don't use for milk the innocence of we members them, then still they don't want for let it go. So now the reason this way are they do
you know what them do?
Huh?
You know what them do? You know what them do? You know what them do? The international partners yesterday then take up to 6 hours standing and fulfill that recommendation they wanna today then go get to the president. APC, our leaders, what them do? Then one soulful things inside the recommendation, they count their own agenda. Or like they part of the recommendation towards the new one and they're not happy. They count some fake forms them. Why not just two party signature the part? Those party now who's form they say just two party signature in the panel. 70% of the RF forms they count there. Some of them put RF form there. Encounter. So the international partners they reject them things then they not give up no but adapt them that particular recommendation day. But like as you say, I really want whenever you do that kind of programs, then you connect me. Let we discuss them so that they go able for more find and the way how the vast majority will for listener. And like as you know me now, some of us will get wide awake coverage and people they listen fully listen to we. So that kind of thing, because it's vast, this time, if I will sensitize our people towards his particular recommendations and exactly what they on floor for now. Not putting that they go and tell them, but what you could be the reality.
Well, I believe say enough is enough, and people need to move on. The APC party need to move on because we've been in this for the past 6 months. It don't block.
Of course.
It don't block the APC for do so many important things within the party because everybody is just
Mhm.
waiting for this tripartite for come out. Now that it don't come out, the one that we still want for insist about a rerun way clearly this recommendation not get no rerun mandate at all. But like I said earlier before you come in, the first category now they would console this category because the two party they agree say now this then they recommend now then that this category get for go to the president and the parliament, but there is another category where they call on divergent, and we know say the term of reference talk about the two groups. They need for agree for any item before that item then they put under the recommendation. Now that make them separate the two categories. I think say the divergent now later on because the time when I've been talked to we leaders them, they try for convince the international community for say now that there is not going to be a rerun, so then just want for make them put waiting at their own opinion on the document, even if you not carry weight. I think say now that one day the committee agree for do now that make them separate them from the recommendations. And if you look at the documents, they come to that pretty soon, you go see divergence who side then disagree, and that's they go now like the SLPP or the APC say we want for make them pull out the disaggregated result. So I would recommend that. The SLPP say we want to make this happen, but since the two groups they not agree, those ones are actually not included in the recommendation. But then put on for informational purpose only. Even Dr. Senge talked about this this morning, where a whole joint conference with Dr. Samura. So let me just move on. Thank you very much, my brother, for the call.
Okay. No, Allah. Yeah, as you say.
Yeah.
Lovely to touch. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on. All right. This recommendation now that this is about let me see about electoral inclusion of incarcerated. Oh, I don't read this one already. So disqualification of public officers. I think right now is about 12 months. If you're a public officer, when they pay you from the consolidated fund, and you want for run, you get for resign 12 months before the election. So they recommend say that they then cut time to 6 months, and this get for do with an amendment of the Constitution, section 76 1B. Now in then get for do for amend and for make that happen. Now this one yeah is very very important. Disqualification of dual citizens. Are you a dual citizen? Anyway, let me just read. Let me go. I didn't read them. The committee notes that there have also been calls for the consideration of the disqualification for potential presidential and parliamentary candidates in regards to citizenship, while finding that maintaining the requirements for a presidential candidate to be only a citizen of Sierra Leone to be proportionate. We have concluded that dual citizens should be permitted to run for parliament. So now the recommendation there were for dual citizens for make them run the parliament. Me, I know say I qualify. If person not believe say I qualify, let's go to courts. All right. Recommendation 47 says Section 76(1)(a) of the Constitution and Section 43(2)(d) of the Public Election Act and any other relevant law, example, Citizenship Act of 1973. Why are we still using 1973 Constitution? We already done discarded for a very long time. Why are we using it? Now only Africa or Sierra Leone, then they use after they don't change their constitution, they still go reference that old constitution where it not functionable again. Anyway, for example, Citizenship Act of 1973 should be amended to allow a Sierra Leonean citizen with dual citizens to be qualified to be nominated as a member of parliament, subject to safeguards such as requirement of residency for 6 months preceding the election or payment of Sierra Leone local tax, which is currently a requirement for seeking a parliamentary seat. No change are recommended for presidential candidates. So this is very, very important, okay? Now, another very, very important section where I want to read from now, qualification of independent candidates. We all know, saying, as of now, the 1991 Constitution banned somebody for run as an independent now a presidential election. The Constitution talks saying only people that will belong to a political party now then qualify for run for president of the country. So the recommendation here is they want to make them allow independent candidates to nominate for presidential election through amendment of section 41B and 42(1) of the Constitution. Additional conditions for independent candidates may be considered by Parliament. In making amendments to the primary legislation to allow independent candidates, there should also be full application of all regulatory requirements relating to conduct and financing to be applied to the independent candidates by the Electoral Commission and the Political Party Regulation Commission. So that's not a very good idea, that one day, right? Now a very good thing. Okay, let's also read about this very, very important again. In considering the provision of security and policing service around election, the committee received stakeholders' allegations around the use of criminal charges to deter citizens from pursuing election to the presidency. Respecting the independence of the prosecution process, the committee nonetheless sees merit in providing some shield against this issue in statute. Now, the recommendation for that, we now 49, in the event that a presidential candidate is standing trial, this is very important for Dr. Samura. In the event that a presidential candidate is standing trial on a criminal charge to which the state is a party 1 year prior to the election, such trial must be suspended until 1 year after the election. The legislation will need to incorporate independent candidates into definitions. So this more got to do with Dr. Samura, way in the stand trial. Yes, indeed, they suspend in trial after they nominate him. But so this actually got for bring a little bit of complication. Okay, it depends on whose term way the party they do their national delegates conference. For example, in 2023, we did the national delegates conference. I don't think say it reached 1 year to elections. So what happened if the person they run, but they're not nominated it? This recommendation they need for make sure say then make sure say then align with the party's nomination process. Okay, so that's something way is very, very important. Oh, this is about Disability Act, all the way the presidential voting system. Let's read this. This is very important too. Conduct of elections. Presidential voting system. The committee noted that while various stakeholders and observers commented on the threshold for parliamentary election in 2023, none raised issue with the presidential threshold. The committee has considered this issue, noting that the 55% is an unusual threshold found nowhere else on the continent, and being mindful of the financial burden of a second round of polling and counting, the committee did note that some two-round presidential systems, such as Kenya, and Nigeria require both a numerical and geographical threshold in the first round, and so commend such a model for parliamentary consideration. Now, the recommendation for this is a constitutional amendment to section 42(2)(e) of the Constitution of 1991, so that in presidential election, a candidate can only be elected on the first round if they, A, obtain a 50% plus one votes of the total valid vote cast nationally, and B, obtain 25% of the total valid votes cast in each district in at least half of the districts of Sierra Leone. Okay. All right. Can you guys understand? Do you guys understand this? We can't get rid of the 55% threshold. So now, how would they elect somebody? The person supposed to get only 50 plus one. That would just say 51% of the vote. If you get 51% of the vote, you are qualified. Or, this is also very important, at least you get for obtain about 25% of total votes cast in each district in at least half of the districts of Sierra Leone. Now we get 16 districts, right? 16? Is it 16? 14? Whatever. So half of that, you get forget 25% in every vote, which is half of all the districts them. So if you do, if the two thresholds are not met, there is a second round, and the candidate with the highest number of valid votes will be declared elected. So the second round is still going to happen, but it will be very, very rare for make it happen because of the 50 plus one. And I understand, say, there was a time when no person able for bring 50 plus one, which is something that happens normally every other elections. So if you're able to bring 25% of valid votes cast in each district, then you still qualify for being the president of Sierra Leone. Very, very important, very, very interesting. And he talked about voting registrations and all right, nomination issues. No, I don't need this. Access to polling station. Let me just read the recommendation. The Electoral Commission to make access assessment of all proposed polling stations before the publication of the final votes register and the final allocation of voters to polling station. We are forced by local circumstance to use an inaccessible polling station. The Commission to make suitable logistic provision to make the station accessible for voters with disability. Procurement of voting, missing ballots, campaign issues, finance regulations. Disputes relating to presidential election. This is now a very important thing for what we know. There is an inordinate delay in the resolution of disputes filed after election. Following consultation with the representative of the Chief Justice, it was proposed to draft specialized rules on election petition to address the handling of presidential, parliamentary, and parliamentary election. Now, Section 46(3) of the Public Election Act stipulates that any objection to a presidential candidate's nomination must be submitted within 7 days of the nomination and must be adjudicated within 30 days of filing. However, this timeline does not ensure effective or timely resolution of the objection. The limited time between the nomination and election day creates a likelihood of decision on objection being rendered very close to the election date. The Act also lacks clear guidelines on how the 30 days period for hearing objection is to be managed. So consequently, it has been proposed that the Supreme Court establish specific rules for handling presidential election dispute. These rules will cover both objections to nomination and the declaration of presidential election result, aiming to provide a more structured and predictable framework for resolving such disputes. This is also in keeping with the international and regional instrument that Sierra Leone has ratified, which require that an effective, timely, and enforceable remedy should be available for all citizens for violation of their rights throughout the electoral process. What are the recommendation? The committee recommends that the Chief Justice draft specialized rules on handling of election petition. These rules might cover such issues such as evidential standard and time frame. All right. Disputes arising when the first round of presidential election indicates the need for a second round. Now, let me read section 42(2)(f) of the Constitution, which requires the second round of a presidential election to be conducted within 14 days, does not leave room for resolutions of any dispute that may arise out of the first round. So the committee considered the need for the constitutional provision to also allow the legal challenge to be first round of a presidential election, which does not declare a president-elect and set time frame for those challenges to be dealt with. So now the recommendation this way then put. The committee presents this recommendation in narrative form in the interest of wide comprehension and invites those who wish to see the technical instruction to consult the legal annex. 1. It is recommended to revise section 42(2)(f) of the Constitution to provide the following: that when the national returning officer declares a first round presidential result that indicates the need for a second round, he or she will send this result to the Chief Justice immediately. There is then a period of 3 days within which a citizen who voted in the election may lodge a petition. If no petition are lodged, the Chief Justice is to advise the national returning officer that the declaration is confirmed. The Electoral Commission shall immediately declare that the second round of polling will take place in 14 days. If a petition is lodged, there is to be a 14-day period in which the case must be heard and decided. On decision, the court will either confirm the first round result as declared or order a fresh poll to be held. If the declaration is confirmed, the Electoral Commission shall immediately declare that the second round of poll will take place in 14 days. So, okay. Let's say Dr. Mankotaron, I lead the first round. My opponent, a petition say, not satisfied with the result. Well, a get for go to court, a go petition. Then after the petition, the court gets 14 days for make them look into the case and decide. After they don't decide, then if na second round we get for go with the person we run against me, then we'll get 14 days for the second round. Very simple and straightforward, right? All right. There is another dispute when a candidate is declared president-elect. What will happen, right, with this election? I'll just go to the recommendation. It is recommended to revise section 42(3) of the Constitution to provide for the following: that when the national returning officer declares a candidate elect to the office of president, he or she will send this result to the Chief Justice immediately. There is then a period of 7 days. So the 7 days still stand, okay? APC, SLPP, or whoever is going to do the petition are listening very well. The 7 days, this is not a recommendation. Right now, when they declare somebody president-elect, now 7 days the opposing side gets for make a petition. You go na court, you go petition. If the 7 days pass, you know petition, you lost your chance. Now in make we the APC we lost with chance. So I think say both sides, the APC and SLPP, it looks like they're still satisfied with these 7 days. When I listen carefully, because tomorrow, when something like that happen again, we will see some people when they come and begin to talk all kind of rubbish. Okay, so we still the recommendation still, I think, saying it still wants the 7 days. Now that make them say there is then a period of 7 days within which a citizen who voted in the election may lodge a petition. If no petition are lodged, the Chief Justice is to advise the National Returning Officer that the declaration is confirmed, and after a further 7 days can swear in the president-elect. Okay, there is some changes. The petition time frame is still stay, but the one for these 7 days. If there is no petition, 7 days before they swear in the person will win. Okay, so before they announce you today, this today, then go swearing in. So there is no room for petition. So you see. Now, what about if a petition is lodged? Well, the recommendation says if a petition is lodged, there is to be a 21-day period in which the case must be heard and decided. On decision, the court will either confirm the declared result as declared or order a fresh poll to be held. If the declaration is confirmed, the Chief Justice can swear in the president-elect after a further 7 days. Okay. Let me understand this. The returning officer of the ECSL announced Dr. Mankota for saying that he win the election. Ajibu Jallo, we run against me, we go from a fictional party. He go from a fictional party, he run against me. He not satisfied with the result. So within the 7 days, he go petition. So the court gets 21 days for make them decide that that case they whether me win one, it correct, or still the election from Ajibu Jallo in fictional party. Okay. If the court decides say yes, I win, well, after that 21 days, it still gets 7 days. I want for now pay attention very carefully. After the 21 days, you still get 7 days for make them swear the president-elect. Okay. But if the court decides it, okay, hold on. Okay, if a fresh poll is required, that if the court decides it, Dr. Mankota still the election. So therefore, the evidence where they produce now this court here is satisfied the justice for make a call for a fresh election. That means then the Electoral Commission must set a date for this to occur within 60 days. Within 60 days of the court decision. Now, this process is applicable whenever a candidate is declared elected president, whether or a first or second round of poll. I don't want for stay too much or election matters. All right, we can move on. Yeah, that's not just about the electoral. I think I've been done talk a little bit about this for the electoral security. All right, let's go to media issue. Now, so bloggers, now we get now. So bloggers we get, and you get other issues. Okay. Special voting arrangements, and finally we get moral guarantors will help monitor progress towards implementation. So these are the recommendations, 80 recommendations. That's not the first category where I've been telling you. Now let's talk about the second category. Okay, the second category. This is very, very simple. Now, this second category we then call Let me bring it here. Area of divergence. Now, let me read them, because where I explain them, sometimes people then go say a bias or something. I read them, then I explain them. The bulk of the report represents the agreed findings and recommendations of the committee as above, intended to strengthen and protect our electoral system. Would I read the statement now? Let me read it again. The bulk of the report represents the agreed findings and recommendation of the committee as above. Recommendation where I just don't read now. All the 80 recommendations where they above, and intended to strengthen and protect our electoral system. The committee endeavored to focus on national issues and reach concrete joint recommendation whenever possible. Una pay attention to this, because I don't see some people, they don't begin twist this area of divergent for make them continue for confuse with people then. Okay. Then say, the committee endeavor to focus on national issues and reach concrete joint recommendations wherever possible. There are, however, some areas where the committee had different analysis and could not reach joint conclusion, primarily around the 2023 election result, potential resulting accountability issues, and conduct of election, which require continued discussion by the parties. Now they continue for go and discuss now with Unayon party. Okay. Now, as part of the methodology adopted in working on the final report, the committee broke up into individual time to work on the areas of divergence. Individual time to work. This, I will, okay. Let me explain first what I don't read. Let me explain. The committee, the Tripartite committee, when you look at the term of reference, they agree saying anything where then they put now the recommendation of the document, the two group need for agree. I just don't read to their recommendation, and that one they na implementable recommendation, or you can call it actionable recommendation, because both the two parts now they actually agree say we need for do them. But there is also a section where they put where then discuss them, but they not agree. Everybody gets, so they not vote on them. So therefore, the individual party then go talk what they want for talk about that, continue for talk about what then they talk. But as far as the recommendations are concerned, they are not part of the recommendation. Now in this. But then agree for make them put this now the final report for transparency or informational purpose, for make people they know same. Yes, indeed, we talk about this, but we're not able to come into conclusion. So therefore, you know what they call it. So I will give you now how they try for do them. Okay, but let me just continue for it. As part of the methodology adopted in working on the final report, the committee broke up into individual teams to work on the areas of divergence where there were challenges in agreeing on text for inclusion in the final report. It is important to note there is a degree of potential convergence. That is, the things the way they don't already talk about the above document where I don't read so. In some of the recommendation, in some areas of divergence also, there are a number of areas where the parties' analysis differ, but we have nonetheless identified as shared recommendation. The government of Sierra Leone and the APC made a good faith effort to reach agreement on the results of 2023 election and potential resulting accountability issue. Despite this effort, the parties could not agree in some areas. The APC hold that statistical inconsistency called into question the results declared by the ECSL and demands a rerun facilitated by the ECOWAS Commission and the resignation of election management bodies personnel. As detailed in the APC report, The APC full statistics analysis is available on its website and is annexed to this report. Okay? When I listen what in this talk very carefully, somebody they come back and try to twist this. Now, the APC during the course of the discussion, then demand say the statistics inconsistency of the result is questionable, and therefore then demand for a rerun by the EC, a rerun way now the ECOWAS supposed for that the ECOWAS Commission supposed for run that rerun day, that election day. Well, first of all, constitutionally speaking, it's not possible. By this itself, we know say not possible. So when you see why they pull out of the recommendation because of this, how ECOWAS they can run an election for we get constitution. That's make no sense. But in any case, so the APC party demand this. They're not put on the final recommendations where they get for send a parliament, but for the sake of transparency, they include them in this section. So now, what about the ECSL? What's the ECSL? The government of Sierra Leone. Let me just say the SLPP. The SLPP maintain that the results as declared by the ECSL are valid. They thank the election management bodies for their great work in 2023 election and remain committed to implementing reforms to strengthen the performance of election management bodies in line with the next electoral cycle in 2028. The government party's full statistics analysis is available on the ECSL website and is annexed to this report. I don't see the ECSL website report video, so this is not actually correct. Well, I see some numbers where it even makes sense anyway, because then just give me how much each candidate bring. They not try for put them into like district the way they put them before. So this also, my own opinion, it not make no sense anyway. So despite these differences, the parties jointly committed to national cohesion, national security, continued dialogue around the issues. So these are the divergence we then get. You see here, government of Sierra Leone team. You see at the right side, APC team. So within now the findings from the SLPP, then say section 92, 1 to 4 of PEA, Public Election Act, not respected. Now, waiting at the recommendation where the SLPP put, then say the government of Sierra Leone's agent who were part of the SLPP election management team and other political parties consulted, indicated, and confirmed that section 92, subsection 1 to 4 was adhered to as some summary of polling station results were compiled at regional tally centers, certified by district returning officer. So that's not the recommendation. Waiting at the APC, they don't find it on this part. They say many ballot boxes arrive at the tally centers open and unsealed. Some tampered evidence envelope, TEE, received at the tally centers were not sealed. The result tallying and tabulation process at the regional center was not transparent and inclusive. Party agents and observers were not allowed to meaningfully observe the process, and the result tallying was not projected. At regional tallying centers, there was no progressive release of information provided on polling station result received, processed, audited, and excluded per district. And then reference the EU election monitoring mission final observation reports. Now in the reference now the APC party, which I agree with them. So, but what's not the recommendation? the recommendation where them put is process in line with Article 1.2 of the Tally and Results Procedure. Procedures manual training material must be developed and delivered to districts in a timely manner. Procedures of the transmission of results must be transparent, easily explained to the public, and as simple as practically possible, taking into account cybersecurity issues, avoid possible data breach. Procedure for shipments, tallying, and announcement of results at regional and national level have to be available well in advance, and involved staff has to be well trained. Interactive training program must be produced. All right. Now, let me go to the second findings for the APC party. Okay, let's go to the SLPP first. The SLPP says some tampered evidence envelope TEE received at tally center were not sealed. So the APC and the SLPP, they agree on this, but why they not put them? Now, the recommendations where they put above, instead they put them into the individual opinion section. But anyway, let me read within now the recommendation for the SLPP. Then say polling officials are required to seal all TEE at polling station. Any unsealed TEE received at the tally center was not entered into the results database. It is recommended that in future election, all tampered evidence envelope TEE are inspected by party accredited agents present, accepted, and documented for reference and accountability purpose. Okay. It says the general practice in Sierra Leone's electoral system is that ballot boxes procedurally need to be brought to tally centers. In case where they are brought, they serve as containers to convey the TEE. Therefore, whether they are open or not has no effect on the credibility and the transparency of the Electoral Commission. So it is recommended that in all future elections in Sierra Leone, where ballot boxes are required to be brought to tally center for any purpose, information must be made public in advance. In advance, especially to political parties and accredited election observers. Now, let me go to the APC, the own problem we then get. For the 2023 election, contrary to Section 88(4) of the Public Election Act, many of the ballot boxes arrive at the regional tally center open and unsealed. I think I don't read this, right? I think I don't read them. Yeah, this almost they get the same thing. But why they not put on the recommendations? Instead, they put on the individual opinion section. Anyway, let's look at the recommendation. It is recommended that in all future elections, where ballot boxes are required to be brought to tally centers for any purpose, information must be made public in advance, especially to public. It's like say not the same thing no more. Anyway, let's move to the next one. Where is the next one? Okay, this is the next one. All right, reception of materials at district level slow and disorganized, and procedural issues noted in 15 districts. Now, what are the recommendations for the government? The government of Sierra Leone find this information paradoxical. The ESSL was in position to produce presidential results within 48 hours of close of polling. This potential could have been almost impossible, where significant delay as reported could have taken place. It is recommended that ESSL prepare regulations to indicate that the duration between end of polling and release of results, so that political parties and citizens could predict the duration. In addition, Any operational and logistical challenge encountered or envisaged in the movement of polling materials prior to and after polling should be instantly made known to political parties accredited accredited election observers and public okay, that will go to hold on, that will go to the APC. What did they say about this? All right, for the 2023 election, contrary to section 88.4 of the Public Election Act, many of the ballot boxes arrive at the regional tally center open. I think I don't read this already, so why are they repeating it again? I don't really understand why they repeat it again. Anyway, we can move on because I know one for make repetition. All right, let me just read something here. Wait sometime from the APC party, now then your opinion. Let me just read them. Okay. In the June 2023 election, the ECSL announced presidential election results in 2 phases. In the first phase, the commission announced uncertified partial presidential results representing 60% of polling stations on the 26th of June 2023, contrary to section 92(2) of the Public Election Act. In second phase, the commission announced the final presidential election result on the 27th June. Detailed analysis of the results in comparison with other independent gathered data and data from previous election revealed several statistical inconsistency and discrepancies in the result announced as follows. The partial unsatisfied result released on the 26th of June 2023 constitutes about 7,098 polling stations. It was found that in 8 districts, Kailahu, Kenema, Bombalik, Putloko, Bo, Bonta, and Pujahun, the average valid votes per polling station reported exceeded the 300 voter threshold per polling station, contrary to Section 84 of the Public Election Act of 2022. In the summary of the statement of the final presidential result announced by the ECSL on the 27th and 28th, total invalid votes recorded by the ECSL is 10,000, representing 0.39%. This is not only inconsistent with the estimate 4.5 and 5.7 from new PV. Okay. One of the things we I want for make the APC party try for forget these new reports. It don't make no sense at all. These new reports, I don't think now we best bets at all. For reference and this document alone, tell we say we still have a problem. But anyway, that's not the recommendation or not the argument way they put. So what's not the recommendation? Now we look at if there's any recommendation. Yeah. For future election, verification of district level tabulation should be conducted, and Section 84 of the PAA should be applied as appropriate. I agree with them. I agree with them at 100%. Now let we go to the next one. Okay, let's do this. This is very, very interesting. All right, presidential election. Presidential results from Western region, urban and rural, were certified on the 1st of July 2023, though announced on the 27th of June 2023. After several attempts and engagement for clarification, ECSL was unable to provide any justification to support that the final result announced for the 2023 presidential election is accurate. And all of the above exhibits significant election irregularities and malpractices that potentially influence the outcome of the presidential election result has not been a true reflection of the will of the people. It is, however, clear that this action to undermine the democratic election in 2023 has been machinated by all election management bodies and other public institutions designed to deliver a democratic election in Sierra Leone. Due to these statistical inconsistencies, the APC continued to demand a rerun facilitated by the ECOWAS Commission. Our full analysis is available in the analysis of the 2023 election. The APC has low confidence in the judicial process on election-related matters, as it has had a bad experience with the court's ruling on its 2018 election petition. 3 years after filing, this is amidst several mishandling of cases against individual APC leaders and supporters. So what's in the recommendation now where the APC put on this? Let's look at the recommendation for that. Do we have a recommendation? Okay. For future election, verification of district level tabulation should be conducted, and Section 84 of the PEA should be applied appropriately. So the APC party recommendation for this wonderful piece where them put. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, now suppose for don't put recommend what did they recommend, but they not put no recommendation. Okay. All right. I know I take care of the SLPP. Now useless people them anyway. All right. I think that's okay. Despite public demand, ECSL did not publish the 2023 election polling station level result. On the ECSL website is available. On the ECSL website is available the 2023 presidential election result as total number of valid votes cast per district without providing number of polling stations counted per district. No information is provided by ECSL regarding the 120 polling stations not counted per district. Despite the high public demand, ECSL did not publish the 2023 election polling station level result. Now, what's in the recommendation? Amend the PAA to require the publication of election results by polling station immediately following the declaration of final election results, and copy of the said results be sent to every polling station, every political party that participates in the election and observer with penalties for non-compliance. Okay. Well, I think this already did the recommendation, right? You already done the recommendations them. So I think now a very good recommendation by the APC party, and I hope say. I think that's all. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the divergence way then get. I don't think say it's much of divergence, because most of the things them, if you like then copy from one person, then paste on the other person with a very few differences. Okay. So now this so we get, ladies and gentlemen. So all this, we not see any recommendation. Now the we not see any recommendation we guarantee we any rerun or handing over. Now somebody will come and try for convince you again. Not allow for make that happen any longer. Okay. Now let's go to. I don't get too much comment today. That's good. I don't get too much comments today. All right. Waiting at the comments. Hey, Henry Bobo Bakari. Doctor, you can't imagine APC supporters still have hope. Yeah, well, anyway, we need for to call out some of the one that we still they insist on this. I think abusing the intelligence of we supporters is enough. We not for allow that for continue at all. You know, they don't abuse the intelligence of we people then so much that I say today after I received the report I read them through, you know, now there's somebody sent an audio now one of we APC forums we I one guy with the name APC Samora. This now one of the people then we been they argue about this tripartite so much. How did tripartite get for come give power to Samora? So now I think then they try for faith's shameless, and in order for make them do that, then continue for try for mislead the people them. I don't read everything to now. So there is nothing again way somebody get for can tell you. This is not the report is. And it is. You can take time and read them for yourself. There is no rerun. There is no handing over. There are only recommendations, 80 of them, where hopefully then go pass in the parliament. Okay. It's time for let the APC party move on. We don't depend this. We don't spend a lot of wasted time just with these hopeless hopes. All right, Mata Bangura is watching from London. Thank you, Mata. Corner 3. This report is fully implemented. It could be a game changer for the way we elect our government. Now it is up to Sierra Leone to hold them to account. Yeah, I agree. Most of the things that we did at this recommendation are very good things. Them and yeah, you know, especially publishing the results. Publishing results into a public domain. I remember I've been talk about this. Say I hope so it could depend recommendation. So I'm so happy that he didn't have a recommendation because now if somebody say well they rogue me, well the results today na website and the recommendation where them put the results na website. They not get the rights for go and put and down again. No way. No way. So this is not a very good thing. The recommendation. Unfortunately, the APC party not able to forget what they want to forget, but at least the APC party also benefit through their recommendation also in the future election. Michael Cook has said APC keeps fooling their gullible supporters by including the suggested about a rerun when they know very well it is not in the TOR. Very sad. Well, anyway, Michael Cooker, go sit down, sleep, man. Corner 3. This is a good start. Sierra Leone, let's come together and move on. Let's stop holding our country hostage. The economic situation the last year has been a misery for our people. Time to move on. Yeah, we need to move on. I think say it's enough is enough. Enough is enough. We need to move on. There is nothing else we will be able to do for change anything. So let we not all we country hostage. Let's move on. The APC party, I believe, say we they move on. We move on. Even this record will still need a review of a constitution. Yeah. So this is not just a beginning of the process for implementation, because so many recommendations we then get for go to the constitution and make and amend the constitution. Well, we get amendments. The CRC, remember the Constitutional Review Committee, make most of the recommendations. So the Constitution, like they do as citizenship and few other things. Them. So yeah, I believe say well, we are very grateful that at least the recommendation come. We not get any kata in the country. We not cause problems. And it is time for make the leadership of the SLPP and the leadership of the APC party try for work out things for the benefit of the country. Sometimes it's very difficult sometimes a very, very heart-rending when things are not going the way you want them. But there is a bigger purpose in our democracy. That is the survival and efficiency of the democratic processes. With democracy, it's too young, very, very young. We got a long ways for go. You look at the United States of America for 240 something years, very close to 250 years. They try for maintain the democratic process. What about we now just 26 years old? And very, very young. So some of their recommendations are go able for strengthening with institutions. I have no doubts if they implement their recommendations here, they go able for help with democracy very, very greatly, irrespective of what somebody think or say. You know, very, very important. Now, Michael Kuka said, Doctor, I need an invitation to the swearing-in ceremony of Dr. Samora. And next week, next week, so you are invited. Now, State House with the go swan. All right. Konotri say, thank you, Doctor, for going through this report. You are true patriot. Thank you so much, my brother. I they do this for the benefit of with people there because the misinformation don't pass mark na social media. Then they confuse with people there so much. And like I always they say, not to foresee some of the people they really try for believing this, not to foresee na stupid and stupid or no, now victims them. You know, when you elect your leaders, now the reason why to make you the elect a leader because you trust them. You trust the lad in a credible person, a person where no they come and mislead you. So the APC folks them, majority of them, not to all, because some of them are very, very deceptive, but majority of them, then just believe in the leadership of the APC party for say they know will come and manipulates them. Unfortunately, that has not been the case. I don't know if the APC party get for come out sooner, tomorrow, next tomorrow, this week, next week, for make them talk to the APC leader, the APC members, say, we try our level best, it didn't work, it's time to move on. They owe that to the Sierra Leone the APC members, because now the same people then we mislead the APC. Some of we will be need to come out and try for counter some of them misleading state information and then take we say we not rebel them. You know, then they talk all kind talk, but at the end of the day, would they vindicate? Would they vindicate once more? Now we then vindicate. People that way been get the courage for come out and say, irrespective of the popularity where this rerun gets now within the APC party, that's not gonna happen. So let's move on. They say Dr. Mankota, I want to rebel in the APC party. But at the end of the day, what will happen? What will talk now happen? How long we go be right and the party they go now the drain? I wish enough for being right, the parties succeed, but I always right because when they do things, I know they do things based on emotions. Like other people, then we like emotional reactions and then get. But in any case, this now the recommendations. Anybody will come and tell you say, hey, the APC party they expect a swearing ceremony. Tell and say, let's go to hell. We need to move on as a party. This is very, very important. And I just want to thank everybody, and especially when we contribute very greatly towards this. I don't spend almost 1 hour 50 minutes, and I just continue for talk to the APC leadership. The APC now a wonderful party. Now, one of the APC forums then this morning after the result, the reports come out, I did see a lot of hypertension. When they go on, now we forums, people are angry, people are disappointed. Some of them are belligerent and arrogant because they're not even believe same. The results, the reports, not true reports, them facing are fake reports. Because they're not been see what actually them in the hope for. So they say it's not correct, the report not correct. I tell them, I say, it is done. It is over. Let's move on. Whether you believe now, you not believe, it is over. And this exactly now in we supposed to do as a political party. You know, me not believe in wishful thinking. I not believe in that. God give you what we call logical ability. There are certain things where you self-decide on and think on your own and no say, what's in this guy tell me? I don't think say it makes sense. Well, let me give you an example. When you read the term of reference from the beginning, what's in the term of reference say? After the recommendation, then get for hand over to President Madabio. And President Madabio get the discretion for accept or reject before it's in parliament. Do you really believe you put a recommendation to President Bio for say, make it come on a power, make it opponents can't take over, and now get the discussion for whether accept or deny, and President Bio they come and agree for say yes anyway, and come inside, let me come on. It don't make no sense. From the beginning, this particular talk, it don't make no sense. You know what? People like Kamosise, our brother, somebody some of we admire within the APC, for make he insists they mislead we members them, we vulnerable members them. This is the guy we're supposed for pull we out of them conundrum here where some people then get. Not only supposed for put we inside it. Because of the experience where he gets as a member of parliament, a minister, he don't work for the government for many years, right? So these are the people where we go for advice, for seek advice. But if this person now in the come and tell you, say, I know the election are not over until over, well, the Tripartite is over. So we need Kamosise for come now and say, and you know they just can't no more for say the election is over. You need for come and apologize to the APC folks where he helped for mislead. You need for apologize to them people then they because people then trust them, then believe in them, that make them in the follower. So I they wish Kamosise they come and apologize. And anybody, including the bloggers, them. The bloggers, the way they go around and parade with this misinformation, we not need for apologize to the people the way we not mislead because at the end of the day, we not look good at all. That's a bad. I don't believe in deception. I don't believe in deception. When something happens, say the truth. You're not a leader. Everybody knows you're not a human being. They make mistake. Even if you make mistake. Me, I know they hold somebody for making mistake. I know they're angry with you because you make mistake. You're not a human being. We are not infallible. So, are they angry with you for intentionally try for mislead the people that way trust you, the people that way depend on you, the people that way want for seek advice from you, for make you come and deceive them, and constantly they give them false information, false hope. At the end of the day, when you realize all what you've been tell them, not true, you disappear. Or some they not disappear, some then they come and try for dig another hole for can't cover the hole where they don't already create, where don't cause problem. This is very bad, man. This is very bad. You know, Michael Coker no go agree with me, but the APC party are the best party in that country. If you did think of the most smartest people in Sierra Leone, the APC party get a lot. The SLPP, they're not able to win election as alone. The SLPP, if you see the SLPP winning election as alone, because the APC party messed up. I'm telling you this. The SLPP party for win election as alone because now the APC now it mess up now that make the SLPP take advantage of the situation like in 2018, in 2023. All the elections and the now APC now it mess up now that make the SLPP. And also the SLPP not popular, them popular. But when it comes to the brain, the problem with the APC is them push the people that will get brain at the APC party, them bring the one that win a brainless, they not get sense now them brain. Now them people need them put in front, now then they mess way up so. It's very, very shameful. Somebody now one of the forums they begin to go, oh, Boku SLPP, APC, and then at this forum, oh, we just look and say, may God help him. Okay? May God help him. No, man, the APC is the best political party in Salon. APC, they nominate me for the presidential election. Trust me, the APC, they nominate me. When me time reach, the APC, now themselves get for nominate me. When I wait some more. Okay? So, I believe in the APC party. Because now something like what we call mishaps. Now mishaps, now they happen at the APC party. Then push the one that with brain, then bring the one that with no brain. And if you bring somebody who not get brain, what do you expect to make you do? It will lead you to the wrong direction. We don't need to spend 6 months. They argue about whether this tripartite again will benefit the APC or not. Anybody who get brain, it go no say as this, it don't benefit the APC. That rerun way people they hope for na fallacy. That's now how it is. Which we get for do? Nothing much. Okay. So I don't know more me one for see. I thank you very much again. We'll go see you on Saturday. The same time, and I believe say the same place. Good night.